Yes, I just posted. Please click the link and he'll answer the questions within 7 minutes. Have you received the link of Google form?
Yeah, it is in the chat box, please. Thank you.
Okay. Please answer the questions, and we will count this as a attendance of today's program as well. You have 7 minutes. we have 3 more minutes, and so far we have already received 3 responses. Kindly complete the test within 3 minutes. Ram sir, namaskar and welcome. Ram sir, now we are in pre-test phase, so everybody are quite okay. We have 1 more minute. Let me check how many responses did we receive. Yes. As of now, we have received 28 responses. And please,
Can you hear me?
yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes.
Namaste, Ram Ashish sir.
Ram sir, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, sir.
Yeah. Okay. What stage are we in at the moment?
Yes, we are doing pre-test, so everybody everybody are right. So
Okay.
within 1 minute, pre-test completes, and then hand over the session to Ganga ma'am.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, we have already received 34 responses. Only 1 or 2 is remaining. So now I would like to hand over the session to Ganga ma'am. Over to you, Ganga ma'am. Now you can share your screen.
Thank you, Vikasji. Is here share screen share option to me?
Yeah, we are hearing, but your screen is not.
Okay. 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 Thank you, Vikasji, and namaste, and very well Warm welcome to all the valued participants in this first day session of this journal editors workshop. I'm presenting here as a facilitator, session facilitator, and not as an expert. However, I'm very happy to share having this opportunity of sharing a bit of my understanding about this creating an editorial plan of action. And I'm also very happy to be here. So with you, to be here with you, like all these valued scholars, and getting this chance of sharing my experience. And more than this, I'm happy that I'll learn something more from all of your active participation and collaboration in this session. And I'm here. I'm sorry to say that I have been getting a cold for some few days, so my voice might not be clear sometimes. So I'm sorry for that. And yes, this is the first session of this workshop, and the topic is creating an editorial plan of action. And there are different topics.
The screen has not been shared, ma'am.
Have you shared the screen?
This screen share.
Ma'am,
Okay.
let me share the slide on my end.
Sir, okay, sir. Okay, please.
Yeah, and at the same time, echo is coming.
Yeah, some kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know how to minimize the echo, but echo is coming from your end.
So what's the problem? Still like this?
Better, now it's better.
Okay, sir. Okay. Is it in slide mode? Slide share mode?
Yep.
Okay. So there are 5 different topics under this the first day session, that are creating an editorial plan of action. And the first 3 sessions, I think they are identifying the trending topics, themes, issues, volume of this journal, writing clear message, aim, scope, guidelines. And the last 2, deciding mode of publication and developing annual calendars. So I'll be presenting on these 2 topics. So, okay, because the next slide. Okay, so mode of publication, when we think about mode of publication, we need to answer certain these questions before deciding the mode of publication of any journal, because we are talking about journal publication. So the first thing we need to answer, or we need to consider, is that is related to expertise. So what we need to think about the expertise. This is all about mode of publication, not other things. So related to expertise, we need to think about, first of all, if we are going to publish a journal, if we are planning to publish a journal, we need to think about mode also, that is how, in which mode, either it is print or online, like this. So before that, we need to answer this question. So do we have any expertise, means internal or external expertise? That means internal means in our institution. Do you have any expertise? No? Or do you have any experience about the publication? So this is the first things we need to think about that. And next is what additional expertise we need if we don't have any expertise, internal expertise. So do we need any additional expertise? And next is where is the expertise available? So where we can get or manage such expertise means it means you're a skilled person. So and another is financial resources. That's because we need financial resources as well to publish any journal. Next slide, Professor. Okay. Another things we need to think about this, or we need to answer is that is related to resources. So do we have enough financial resources to buy or arrange the expertise? Because in first, previously we said that we need expertise. So this is related. So we need to arrange the expertise. No? So to arrange this, do we have enough financial resources? And next is, if we have the financial resources, so again, who will manage all these administrative functions in our or in your institutions? Right? Do you have such human resources to who can manage all these things? And next is, do we have office or other space from where to deal with the publication? So we need space as well. Means it's like you know that, no? Space means we need certain rooms, space where we can sit and we can manage all the things. And another is, what about these things: computer, printer, electricity, inverter? No? So do we have all these resources, no? in our institutions? And next things we need to answer about, we need to think is related to technology. So do you have access to the internet? Do you have a dedicated IT person to deal with the IT functions? If not, what is your alternative plan? No? So we need to think about this. We need to answer all these questions. No? And next is, do you have your own web page? No? So these all these things we need to answer before we decide the mode of publications. No? And after that, when thinking about these things, then we decide the mode of publication. Either we want to publish. Okay, next. Okay, so then we can publish. Publication can be of 3 types. So thinking about our all these things, we decide which mode, our print, online, or both print and online. No? So before deciding, we need to answer the question that we discussed. So we can publish journal in these 3 different modes. That is, we can publish only print, or we can publish online, or we can publish both. So thinking about our resources, expertise, and technology. Yeah. So each mode means all these 3. Each mode requires specific professional expertise in our institutions, and specific administrative and managerial capacity as well. Next slide, please. And resources and expertise for both print and online. So what resources and expertise for both print and online we need? So for both print and online, we need, so the first one, collection and processing of articles. So if either we are going to publish print version, or we are going to publish online. So all these things we need. So this is the process we need. So first we need to call for articles. Handling submission means the submitted articles, who will handle all these or who will collect all these articles that is submitted. And coordinating review process. After that, who will coordinate, because we need to send the article to reviewers. No? So who will coordinate that? We need to think about that. And working as a bridge between reviewers and authors, who will work in this matter. And we need to think about proofreading and editing, and documentation, record keeping, and each process. And next is typesetting, design, and layout. In both print and online, we need to think about this. So using internal expertise. So in this typesetting, design, and layout, so we can use internal expertise or arranging external services. Next slide, please. And if we are going to, we are thinking of publishing only print version. So we need to think about this, dealing or negotiating with press or printers, how to deal, who to deal now. And then we need to think about quality and type of paper as well, and arrangement of SS and number, and pricing, distribution, and marketing. This is another thing we need to think about this. And if we have the resources, all the necessary resources, we can publish online as well. So for that, what things we need to consider? So that means web page design. We need, do we have our own web page, or who can design web page design on which web page we want to publish? And do we have IT expert to maintain web page and online publication? Because it is very essential to maintain the web page, if we want to publish online. And next is dedicated social media for dissemination. So if we want to publish journal, and after that, we need to disseminate as well. So we need to think about social media as well. And for online also, we need ISSN number for online. Next slide, please, Vikas. Okay, so yes, there are different mode of publication. We can publish print version or online or both. Yeah? But each mode has, I think, pros and cons. So can you discuss in a group for yes, 7 minutes on these three different things? What are the pros and cons of online and print publications? What resources do you have to start the publication in your institutions? And what resources do you need to depend on external sources? Could you please discuss in a group in this for 7 minutes? And yes, because
so this is a group work time, and we will be assigning you in different groups. Sudeepji, will you please assign 4 breakout rooms and divide the participants into 4 groups. So while you are in a group, please discuss about those 3 questions and choose one team leader who will be presenting after the group work things, and there will be 7 minutes for discussion, and after the discussion, team leader of each group will present the answer of these 3 questions. So there will be 8 more minutes for presentation. And at the same time, I would like to request all the co-hosts to jump into different groups and monitor the discussion. I believe you are being assigned in different groups. Sudeepji? Yes.
So anything happening in this group? I hear nothing. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir, we are hearing you. I think here Lakshman sir and others are here, means we organizers are here.
Oh, okay,
And
only organizers. Okay,
yeah,
this is not the participants group. Okay. We're supposed to be going to different groups, right?
Guru sir, Kamal sir, Vishnu sir, uh, I I think you were assigned in a group. Please join your respective breakout rooms.
So are we back to the common room?
I think I'm back.
Let all be back.
I don't know. How did I come here again? I was in another group with the Ashok sir and others. How did I?
Okay. Okay, welcome back again. So I think you all come up with some ideas, and okay, so I'll be happy if one leader from each group present the answers that you discussed in a group. Which leader from group 1?
We were room number was given to us, room number 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, not group.
Okay, are you from room
From
number
group
4?
Okay, group number 4, Usha Kiran ma'am. We have assigned her.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, please.
Usha ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's
So I'll
over to
be
you.
speaking
Yes,
first.
yes.
Could you please share your answer?
Okay, so we were in group number 4, and we have discussed all 3 questions, slightly discussed, let's say. So the answer for the first question, what are pros and cons of online and print publications, that we have jotted down are the pros for digital publication or online publications, where it is economic and it is widely accessible to multiple readers at once. And we also found out that we also discussed that digital publication.
Usha ma'am, please raise your volume a little
In
bit
in
louder.
digital publication, we can work in distance mode also.
Yeah.
So the cons for digital publication, where it cannot be accessible to people who are out of internet access. And for print publication, pros for print publication, we said that it is accessible to a wider range of people out of internet access as well. And the cons for it was like the resources in print publication are costly, because we need to go for printing and many other things. So the answer for question number 2, what resources do we have to start the publication, are the first thing we require is manpower. And then under manpower, we said we need experts with different expertise, like language expertise, formatting expertise, and the technological expertise as well. At the same time, we also require financial expertise and networking for as resources. And the answer for last question, what resources do you need to depend on external sources? We jotted down 4 things under this question. And the first one was, yes, obviously we need articles, we need reviewers, and we need the financial support for printing. And we also need verification of plagiarism and the international or online standard for online publication. That was our discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Saji. Okay, next group.
I don't know where we were. We were in
Okay, group number 4 means there were 4 groups now. So let's come to group number 3.
Because sir, can you give me the cost?
Yes. So, to whom should I give the course?
It's Suman's.
So
Suman. Okay, Suman. Just a second. Suman's rest, right?
And from our group, Rima ma'am is going to present.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Rima Karna from breakout room number 3. We have discussed about those 3 questions for some minutes. Regarding first questions, our group has jotted down here some points for online publication. We have, if we get online publication, we have a wider audience who is connected, accessible to the technology. And the con is they can't use resources who doesn't have access to the internet. And in our context, in Nepalese context, most of us are out of touch to the internet. So it can be a con. So, and we need some IT expert who is connected to the technology. They only can have the access. Otherwise, whatever we print on online publication, it may have less, let's say, local audiences. To meet the local audiences. For print publication, it's durable. We can keep it for the long time. As is the printed media or hard copy we have. So whenever, wherever we can read it easily. But we have some limited audiences. Because every time we don't want to carry the hard copy, it's paper and lots of things. So for the sake of mobility, we choose the printed media. Sorry, the online media. For the second one questions, we need some sort of space, computer and internet access regarding of the publication. We must have the access to internet. Otherwise, it's very difficult for the online publication. Regarding the third questions, resources we need depend on external sources. So we need some sort of expert and the reviewer. Cost for publication. So whatever media it is in, maybe in digital arena or maybe in printed arena, we need the cost for publication. How we do it and how many, let's say, copies regarding those, depending on those nature, we need some cost and expert reviewer as well, so that our article must be qualitative and quantitative. We need some reviewers from the outside for the external sources. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay, group number 2.
Okay, in one of the group we are there. I don't know whether we are in 1 or 2, but we are there. Me, Dr. Saab, Ashok sir, Rameshwar Thakur.
One group.
Okay, okay. Group 1. So, shall I start?
Okay, I don't mind. Yeah,
Yes,
so
yes.
I'm representing 2, but you can start, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, okay. So we discussed all those 3 issues that you had asked us to discuss, and the first issue was pros and cons of print and online papers. So pros for the online paper that we discussed were, are easily accessible to all, because since it's online, anyone can be in access to it. So that's the first point. Second, faster and easier, even to get it printed and to be in access or to get it access to the papers is easy and fast. Also, it's cost effective. Also, we have talked three things about online papers. For the print papers, it's easy for documentation, easy way. We can keep as a record very easily, and that will be durable too. For the library purpose, the libraries like we do have in Nepalese context, we have the physical library more of, in most of the cases. So for the physical libraries, we need print papers, print journals. For the business purpose, also this is easier because online paper in context of Nepal, nobody's going to buy, or very few of them are going to buy the papers, to read. So even for the business purpose, this print paper will work. And it's more preferred than online paper. Yeah, in our local context or Nepalese context. Its demerits, cons are health issues. Like if we are online most of the time, then we have different sort of we experience different sort of health issues. That's another. So that's the first cons that we had discussed, and the delivering expenses also. Like we have to get connected, we have to have our web page and something like that. So this also we need some resources for these sort of things. Second question, what resources do you have for the publication as the second issue that we discussed? And we talked about three different points. One, human resources, as a teachers, editor, expense writer, expert, that's a human resources. Other, capital, we need economy. Third is technical skill. So these are the things, actually, these are the things we discussed for the second question, second issues. Third, what are the external resources that we need to have?
Second question is, do you have such resources? Do you have?
Yeah, do you have such resources for the publication?
You have.
Yeah. So we talked about three things, like human resources we have. We have some technical expert, and then to somehow and to some extent we can manage capital related, economy related things also, fund related things. And the last question is, yeah, the last one is external resource. It was related to external resources that we needed to have it to get it published. The issue was what resources do you need to depend on external sources? And we had very less amount of time. We spent lots of time discussing the first and second issues. Third, we are talking about the capitals, issues, that fund issues. And then time was out and we came back to you. That's all. On behalf of our group,
yes. Thank you a lot for. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So who is left?
Yeah, so two. So good evening, everybody. I'm representing two. So it's very easy job for me because most of the points have been already covered. So regarding the pros and cons of this print and online media, we discussed that print media, print journal. So it is a bilingual, and even the people of the remote area can read it. So that internet access and all these electronic ICT stuff are not needed. Even in the rural area, they can read it. But the con is that it costs much for the publishers as well as for the readers as well. So that can be one issue, and also distribution and availability of print resources, print journal to the public. And regarding online, so the most of the points have been covered. So this is cheaper for the publisher as well as for the readers as well, and easy to access. But if there is internet access, so that's why in case of Nepalese context, it depends. And regarding question number two, resources, we discussed that we have different heads. We have contributors for articles and even expert people to work as this editorial board member and do some sort of review activities as well. So this kind of human resource we have, and also our note members and some institutions, though it depends, can support some sort of finance support as well. That's why we have some sort of human resource as well as some kind of some sort of availability of fund resource as well, financial resource as well. And but this external support, this whatever we have is not enough, not sufficient. That's why this financial support and also this kind of infrastructures, so for example computer or office, etc. And another thing we discussed that we need some support of reviewers or some kind of support to editorial team from the other scholars from other provinces or other this national committee or other international institutions as well. So some kind of techno savvy people are also needed because sometimes we need to publish online journals. At that time that technicality also matters very much. That's why this technical expertise, some sort of financial support, and some kind of this editorial procedural support are needed externally.
Yes.
So this much we could discuss.
Thank you. Thank you, Vikas.
Very much.
So what we can conclude from this discussion that which mode we will choose to publish, it depends on the different things. So for example, what internal resource, external resource, financial resource, and technical support. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So we need to think about these things, and then we'll decide the mode of publication. So
Yes.
okay, so the next topics I'll come back again, and before that, so I think Rama sister is there, so to lead the session, and I'll be back again. Thank you. So Rama sister is over to you.
Thank you very much. I will start with, oh, that's not the, let me, sorry about that. Yeah, that's my part. Good evening from Melbourne. I think I know almost all of you except a few new names. My name is Rama Sesagiri, and I've been working for NELTA, with NELTA for a long time. So I think that's enough introduction for now. Let me go to the presentation mode. Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I am supposed to address these subtopics, if you like, points. Why publish a journal, first of all? And that's an important question because everything that you do as a follow-up depends on this question, why? But let me tell you why you shouldn't publish a journal first. If you want to publish a journal just because other NELTA branches are doing it, then my suggestion is don't do it. If you want to publish a journal in order to compete with a neighboring branch, then don't do it. If you want to publish a journal because you have been asked to do it, then my suggestion would be don't do it. If you want to publish a journal because one or more of your team members have some editorial talents, then again, my suggestion would be don't do it. Why? Because this will only create chaos in the publication editorial process. Because whatever you are doing is not guided by a particular aim. So shortly, I will be telling you why you should publish a journal. But first, let me tell you that I am no expert. I haven't had a formal training in this, but I've been working in this area for some time now and with several associations. So for example, yeah, many of you probably know, I'm the editor-in-chief of Journal of NELTA and editor of TESOL, which I'll be probably mentioning it again. Editorial board member, Asia TEFL Relic Journal. I'm sure many of you know this. And I am also in the advisory board of ESPELT Pakistan. Besides this, I have been, working as a reviewer for almost all major publications, Routledge, TNF, which is Taylor and Francis, The Sage, and Willie, and of course, a number of Nepali journals as well, including Nepalese linguistics. Before I begin, I would like to take you to 2018's NELTA conference reception. I think it was somewhere at Lajimpad. And the keynote speaker from the US was Maggie Sokolik. Dr. Gangaram Gautam introduced me to the then Relo officer and Mr. Biswa Gautam, whom I did not know before. After the formalities, Maggie, the two Gautams, Biswa Gautam and Gangaram Gautam, and I started talking about, what can be done to help develop NELTA, Journal of NELTA in particular. Talking about Maggie, Maggie was not just the keynote speaker. She actually represented the whole writing community because she has been the editor. She's a specialist of writing, of course, but she has been the chief editor of this journal, TESOL, which is the largest online journal of the world. This journal gets 1 million hits per day. So, and she has been the chief editor for about 25 years now. So we started talking about is there anything she can do to help develop expertise here. Now, for some reason, we couldn't do follow-ups. We didn't do follow-ups. It was, we were supposed to do some follow-ups in 2019. We didn't do it. And then, of course, the pandemic has started and then things, we lost the track of things. This event, the event that we are taking part in, has no connection with that conversation whatsoever. But there is one thing that it tells us. It tells us that Relo and NELTA shares a vision, and the vision of capability building at the local level. And I'm very happy to be a part of this. So now I would like to begin. But remember, I am a teacher, so I like to talk. But I promise that I will try to do less talk than do work together, interact with you. I like interactions. So if there is anything you would like to express through the chat, and I'm checking it, I would like my co-presenter, who is Ganga Bandari, to keep track of the questions that may be there, and Vikas Ji to make a note of some questions, which I will try address maybe at the end or maybe during the course of this presentation. Vikas Ji, please also confirm the number of minutes, the time that I have left for my part. Okay, so You are going to be editors, right? So as an editor, oops, it's not happening. I'm stuck. Just a moment, please. Why am I stuck? You're, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Right. So here's a question for you. A good editor is someone who cares a little less about the author's needs than the readers. I repeat, a good author, and you can read it as well. A good editor is someone who cares a little less about the author's needs than the readers. Do you agree? Why not? You have 2 minutes to use the chat box to express your opinion.
Once more, so can you repeat your question?
Can you not read it from the screen?
This is partially visible.
Oh, all right. Okay, partially visible. How do I make it? What do you mean by partially visible, sir?
I can see just half of your screen, maybe because of my.
What about, wait. Oh, okay, wait, sorry.
No, you can zoom out. Most probably you are zoomed
fine
in.
on our end, sir. It's fine on our end there.
It's
Sir, we
fine.
can
Yes,
see your
yes, no,
slide.
it's okay.
It's fine. The problem is with individual.
Okay. Now I will read out. I'm just making sure that the screen is visible. Okay. What about now? Is it any better?
Yeah, it's now in
It's better, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And I've been following your responses through the chat, and all I see is agree. Right, yes. Yeah, right. I think the answer is obvious. For me too, the readers are at the center of all editorial processes. Yes, we work with the authors, right? Not readers. Readers are, at a distance, abstract. So we work with something that's abstract, but we work for them. And, every process that you set up is because you work for the readers. Your readers are at the center of all the editorial processes. So remember, you have, for example, review processes. Why review? Why want to revise? Why you reject? Everything depends on who is at the center, and that's the reader. Some materials, for example, are rejected because they are not suitable for the readers. Some materials you ask them to revise because it's probably you're not the way your reader will want to see it. So on. Of course, some materials are to be revised because they don't follow the academic conventions. But remember, academic conventions are made to cater to the needs of the readers that you serve. Okay. Right. And I'm stuck. For some reason, my screen is just stuck. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I'm back. That means it's moving. Okay. So, as I was saying, Rello and Nelta believes in capability building, and the capability building here is building a culture of writing, culture of reading, culture of sharing, culture of interacting. That's a culture, academic culture. And publishing a journal is to help build that culture. So why publish a journal? Sharing journal is a core principle of academia, and publications are an effective and rewarding way of disseminating knowledge to those who should know about it, your communities of practice, your fellow ELT practitioners, wherever they are. Okay. Again, through the journal, you provide them a space, a platform, or a forum for writers and readers to interact, come together, interact, and share their opinion, ideas, and so on. Writing and reading is an academic culture, as I was saying. Publishing is giving them space to share. It is promoting the culture. Publishing a journal is giving voice to the authors who otherwise remain voiceless. Okay, so the question is aim. Aim is probably one of the most important thing that you should consider before you start even thinking about publishing a journal. Why? Why do you want to publish a journal? Okay, that's a simple question, right? But probably a difficult question to answer. There are a number of things that you should consider when formulating an aim for your journal. You should formulate an aim before you set up anything, because aim is something that guides every other processes of the journal. So here, how do we do it? That's the question I'm trying to answer. Okay, how do we have an up-to-date aim? How do we, when I say up-to-date is, remember, things change. Things that were important 20 years ago are no longer important. New things have become important. We never thought about digitalizing our learning. Now we do. We cannot even think about learning English without the use of the technology. Of course, there are places where it's still inaccessible, but it has, digital technology has become a part of it. So that's up to date. We need to keep working on it to update it. But first of all, how do we develop an aim of your journal? So I'm sure if you already have a journal, then I'm hoping that you have a clear aim. Whether how you developed it, that's a different matter. But I'm hoping that you have. But then let's start with a vision. How actually, what is that you want to achieve? Okay, why do you have to have a journal? What are the benefits for who? Okay, get to the point when you are trying to develop an aim. Probably the wordy language is not really important here. Just be explicit and brief to tell what you want to achieve. Now, the other points, I've tried to explain it, but probably the headings are enough. Be realistic and specific, not vague, something that you cannot achieve. Don't try to exaggerate, say fantastic things, and then you cannot achieve any one of them. Be clear and be timeless. So each of these 5 points, there may be many others, but here I have listed only 5. I'm going back to the earlier slide. Express vision, get to the point quickly, be realistic and specific, be clear, be timeless. Here's a question for you. Okay. Which of the 5 points, and I will remind you once again, express a vision, get to the point quickly, be realistic and specific, be clear, be timeless. Which one, the question, let's take the first question first, there are 2. Which of the 5 points you think is the most essential point for a journal? Why? Which of the 5 points you think is the most essential? Again, please use your...
Ramesh sir, will you just highlight what is timeless? I didn't
Timeless, yes. I think the second question, I will explain it with the help of the second question. So for now, all I can say is something that does not expire quickly. And I will explain that. That's the second question that I'm using to explain. But we can go back and say, avoid text that will quickly age, become obsolete, or become useless. Okay, so again, express a vision, go to the point quickly, be realistic and specific, be clear, be timeless. Say something that will not become useless or obsolete in 5 years time, for example, or 10 years time, or maybe, when the problem is gone or solved. Okay. Right, okay. Keep sending, please. Yeah, okay, be clear, be realistic. 4th point is writing is more, okay, realistic. Yeah, all right, first and third, okay. Yeah, keep coming, you have 30 seconds left. Be clear because unclear arguments may certainly, okay, yeah, clear. All are equally important. Rima is being diplomatic, okay. First and third, yeah, okay, good. Look, I kind of agree with you. They are all important. Okay, again, I'm stuck. Okay, they're all important, of course. But to me, if you ask me, I will say the first one. Because remember, if I have a vision, all other things can be sorted out. So first of all, we need a vision. Of course, you need to say it clearly, specifically, your aim, but your aim is guided by your vision. So when you are thinking of setting up a journal or start publishing a journal, take a longer view. What will you be serving in 10 years, 20 years time? Can I just take you back to the Journal of Nelta? Remember, Nelta started in 2092, but it took a while for us to set up a vision and start publishing a journal. Not because, of course, resources, Ganga ma'am talked about resources, so we did have some resource constraints, but then we probably just didn't want to start journal because every association had a journal. We wanted to do it right. So we developed a vision, then aim, and so on, and then we started publishing it. Okay, second part, which is probably already answered, but comment on the following aim. The aim of the journal is to publish materials that help teachers prepare for teaching English in difficult circumstances. Okay, with which point, which of the 5 points here, will you associate this aim? If this is one of your aim, with which point will you associate this? Be real vision, clarity, realistic or specific, timeless. With which point will you associate this? Yeah, probably I indicated that it was timeless because this difficult circumstance is a temporary thing, right? Though, you know, in low resource countries, it can remain for a long time, but it's a temporary thing. So it's not timeless. That's what I would say. So if the circumstances are better, improved, then probably this aim will become outdated. Okay, right. Yeah, one thing I said, I forgot to tell you that, remember, I want to generate an introduction. Remember, some of you may have better ideas than I have. So yeah, then I would like to know, and yeah, I would like to share mine. So if you disagree with any of the points shared here, please do so. That's all what I want. Okay, next. Again, I'm stuck here. Okay. Now, editorial process. I take it as a system, and there are different parts, and I'll be talking about the parts in a minute. So it's a amalgamation of different parts put together, but every part is a process in itself. So it's a system of processes, if you like. If a part, any of the parts is dysfunctional, then the whole system is dysfunctional. And I will talk about the processes in a minute. So when you are thinking about setting up a process, then of course the process is a part of different subsystems, if you like. And every system should be functioning independently, right? With the right people in the right place. Okay, we were talking about in Ganga Lakshmi Madam session, we were talking about expertise, right? You need expertise, but remember there are different types of expertise. And Bosial sir was trying to say that, explain that, you know, you have different types of expertise needed and different layers or different processes of the publication of the journal. So yeah, you need to be aware of that, and that's you know, how you can make your editorial process more functional. Now, so every journal should have this system in place. And when I say a system in place, remember, system has people, but then it should be the system that leads the people, not the other way around. If the people leads the system, that's chaotic, because if the person goes, the system goes. So the point I'm making is that the system is a permanent thing. People come and go. So it's a system that leads the people. The other way around is not acceptable. Okay, so there are many examples around you. You know, so someone created a system. He led it. Then it was time to go. He went, and the system was dysfunctional. It shouldn't be that way. Okay, I'm trying to keep track of your ideas expressed in chat box, and I kind of like some of the ideas that you expressed. Thank you, and yeah, keep doing that. Okay, so layers or subsystems, if you like. I have put it in the way of layers because it can be a hierarchy, but it's not really a hierarchy. But it starts from something, and then, you know, ends with something. So it can be expressed as a hierarchy. So I have tried to express here as a hierarchy of the editorial process. I call it layers, but I think this picture is not very clear. So if you can, let me go from here. So, so again, we were talking about in the previous segment of the presentation, we were talking about whether we have an automated system in place or we are still doing things manually. And yes, in our context, we are still in probably almost all cases, in so far as our network is concerned, we are doing it manually. We are not yet automated. So for example, it's the first layer or first process, if you like, is manuscript collection and screening. Okay, let's start the collection and screening. There are two parts of the same. Collection is it has to go to a space, a place where it is safely and in the format that the people involved recognize. So it has to be a safe place to store your manuscript. It could be a folder, but remember who has access to the folder, who stores the submissions. If everybody stores, then what happens if someone stores twice? Okay, if I see these first, I store, and then somebody else stores that too. So who should store it? How should we store? And once you have the collections, then remember, before you send it to peer reviews, remember, you should not send, it's not possible to send every submission to peer review. Then the process of screening has to be in place. So who does the screening? Of course, not peer reviewers. It has to be the editorial memberships, right? So who's responsible to organizing, monitoring the screening process? So after you have done that, then you come to the next level, which is peer review, sending it to peer for reviews, right? Again, I'm hoping that there you have a list of peer reviews at some point, and probably in your later sessions, you will probably discuss how to select peers, where to select them from. So I'm hoping that you have a session on that, but for now, I'm supposing that there you have a list of peers. So the screen, the ones that passes, the ones that pass through the screening process will be sent to the review, peer review. And then peer review is an anonymous process, all right? Only a select people should know who is reviewing which papers. And I don't have to explain, I suppose, why. Probably you can make an educated guess. So yes, peer reviews, double-blind reviews, you have to anonymize the screened past submissions and then send it to anonymous reviews. Now, so that's a process in itself, right? Then you have, let's say, you collect review reports. And sometimes two things should happen. Someone should read the peer reviewers' reviews, right? Before you make a decision. What happens if they have conflicting reviews? One of them says accept, another one says reject. Then you have to have something in place. So I'm just telling you what is involved, you know. so that you understand how to put a system, editorial system and plan in process. Once you have revisions, okay, from the second layer, then the revisions should be reviewed again, right? Whether the revisions have been adequate, inadequate, as expected, and then the decision, editorial decision has to be made. Okay, let's say we go through this process, we have this process, then we certain articles pass, and then we select for publication, okay for publication. Then there should be language editing, there should be plagiarism check. That's again a layer or system in place in itself. Now, each of these language editing and plagiarism check needs some resources, expertise, as well as monitoring. For example, plagiarism check, it's not free. So what can you do about it, and so on. Once you have all done that, copy editing, proofreading, and then production, like then we have to work with the press as well. So that's the representation of the layers of these systems in place. So as an editor, if you are an editor of a journal, you need to think about all of these before you start thinking about publishing a journal. Do you have enough expertise? Do you have enough resources, as Ganna Lakshmi Madam was saying? Okay. So what I was implying here is, remember we started with the aims, right? Having an up-to-date aim, and then aim tells us that there should be different systems in place to achieve the aim, and the system should be functional, that system should be independent, the system should be safeguarded, system should be ethically, strong. Can I tell you a joke? I don't know, I'm probably talking too much, but I have had a number of email saying, well, मेरो आर्टिकल फलाना रिभ्युलाई नपठाउनु होला. Well, how will you deal with that kind of okay, that's a very good question. Who is responsible for editing language of articles, editor or writer? That's a very good question. What do you think? There are two things involved here. The author, you ask them to revise, and when they revise language, they revise the content, they revise formatting, everything else, yes. They provide, they submit their final product. There's still the language, I mean, the language may not be acceptable, or may not be in the format or in the manner, in the way you like. What would you do? Usually, yes, yeah, look, if you have resources, hire a language editor, if you like, if you have money, of course, and probably expertise. If you have a volunteer to do that, that would be, fantastic. So yeah, there should be some language editing done after you have, of course, it's the author's job, but then remember, it's beyond, sometimes some things are beyond the means of the author. Okay. Right. Right, okay. I was just checking the chat. Okay. So the point I was making is that all of these processes are guided by the aim. You know, aim, what you want to achieve and how you want to achieve it. Okay, you will, for example, is the aim to have a peer-reviewed journal? Is the aim to produce a plagiarism-free manuscript, right? Is the aim to have a particular, say, conventions to be followed? So all of these processes are guided by your aims. So aims are quite important. So how do we go about developing an aim? And that's my group work here. So what I would like to do, can I do it from here? Right. Because did you tell me how many minutes do I have? Proofreading should be made by the editors. Okay, right. Okay. Two things again, Indra, Mr. Ma'am. I hope it's ma'am. Proofreading. Remember, we at Journal of NELTA we do 2 levels of proofreading. We send it to the authors, because it's your manuscript, right? So you should, you know, whatever comes out is, it had your name in it. So you are responsible eventually. So you should do it first. And then the second level of proofreading is done by the editors. Okay, again, Bikaji. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, final proofreading, yes, I agree. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing here and send you to 4 rooms. And let me tell you what I want you to do. Okay, here I'm opening. Okay, okay. Right, it's opening here. Okay, developing your journal aims, right? I have here 4 aims taken from 4 different sources, of course. You need to do this in your groups. So you will be 4 rooms, 4 groups, room 1, group 1, group 2, group 2, and so on. In your group, discuss the following questions. Choose your spokesperson, of course, who will be asked to report your decision. And of course, people who have not spoken should be chosen this time. So in what way is your assigned journal? So here, this is from Journal of NELTA. So room 1, breakout room 1 will work on this one. And room 2, TESOL-AJ, room 3, RELC, and room 4, Journal of Asia TEFL. But you need to read all 4. Why? Because the question is, in what way is your assigned journal similar to other journals? In what way is it different? Which of the 4 aims is close to your own aims? So my aim is here to make you aware of these different groups. What's happening? Okay, so room 1, journal 1, room 2, journal 3, room 3, journal 3, room 2, journal 2, room 4, journal 4, and so on. Okay, so the time for this, I'm going to give you about 15 minutes. No, yeah, too much, I suppose. 12. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and send you to the breakout rooms. Okay, breakout rooms. Okay, so recreate 4 groups automatically. Recreate and option yes. So in 12 minutes, I will bring you back. No, I cannot change it. What's happening?
Sir,
Well, I cannot change the time. Why? Wait, I can now.
okay.
Okay, 12. Okay, right. So 12 minutes, read all 4. You are assigned with 1. Say in what way is your assigned aim similar or different? Which one of the 4 is close to your own aim? Okay, if you have one, or if you are thinking about publishing a journal, which one appeals to you more? Okay, open. Please join your rooms and start working. And again, if we have our facilitators, please facilitate the group discussions. Okay, sorry. Wait. Yes, sorry. Okay. Let me get the link to you.
Sir, I think we need the link there for the questions.
Yeah, just send it to you by the chat.
Okay, so can you please assign me to the room 4?
Room 4, okay. Okay. Ajay.
Excuse me, sir. Because, sir.
Vikas
Sir, Ram sir.
हजुर
यो लिङ्क चाहिँ उसमा के अरे रुममा गएन कि क्या हो सर? अनि त्यो रिडिङ मेटेरियल चाहिँ भेटेन सर।
च्याटमा पठाएँ मैले भर्खरै।
अहिले हुन्छ सर। सर मलाई
एकचोटि चेक गरौँ सर।
मलाई 4 मा पठाइदिनुहुन्छ कि?
ए 4 मा
हजुर सर
यहाँ त आउटसाइड 4 त हुनुहुन्न के अरे 4 मै हुनुहुन्छ बसिहाल्छ सर हैन
एक्चुअली पठाइदिनु पर्छ होला सर म त्यहाँबाट बाहिर आएँ कि
ए ओके यहाँ त्यसमै 4 मै देखाए रुम 4 भन्नु भएन
हजुर सर
ओके मुभ टु अब यहाँ पहिला रुम बाहिर निकालेर अहिले 4 मै देखाइरहेको थियो कि आई विल टेक यु टु 1
okay yes I got it yeah okay
okay now I have to move you back to 3 ए 4 मा भन्नु
Sir, still problem there. We're not able to open it.
Yeah, we did not get the staff to discuss.
Oh, and Bikaji? Hello, Bikaji.
I copied it, pasted there, but instead it says that you need to request. You need to have access to the.
I sent it to him, Bikaji, and he should. Bikaji, where are you there? He's probably gone somewhere. I'm typing again and see what happens if you click on this one. It's the same though. Try this one and see what happens. It's the same document. I don't know. I don't have your email, so I cannot actually share this document with you because you were supposed to do that. Because he.
Perhaps I need to win now in our rooms.
Yeah, probably. हाम्रो कति बजे सकिने भने हो यो कार्यक्रम गोपाल सर
You at 6:30.
We couldn't open the links or the access. We need the access to open the link.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking for Bikaji. Because
yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Please take picture. I was in another group.
Yes,
we were in room number 4, so we need question number 4. Yeah, question number 4.
So first click the questions and then I'll go to the article number 4.
All right. So okay, sir, please you can pass it ahead.
So article number 4, right?
Yeah, then we have to compare among these articles, right? All articles, how our article is different from other articles.
Yes.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yeah, make a quick comparison. That's, yeah, I wanted you to go through the aims and see what way this is comparable, similar to other aims.
Ram sir, at the same time, I think we need to extend time for group work because some of the participants.
We need to do what?
We need to extend the time for group work, I think.
Sir, please assign this as homework. Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
if we
that is better idea.
lengthen the time, yes, if we lengthen the time, we may not get chances to join in the coming days because we have
Sir, could you
blocked this
please
much time.
share other articles also?
Yes, we
once
have
again?
blocked only up to 6:30.
Excuse me,
It's a
Ramasi
6:30
sir.
already?
Excuse me,
Yes,
Ramasi sir.
yes, sir.
Ramasi sir.
Roger.
Actually, we were in room number 4, but we couldn't get the question. No one had question. We couldn't see.
Yeah.
that was the problem.
Yeah. Actually.
Could you please see, so 2 and 3, sir? Oh, yes, 2 and 3. 2 and 3.
Question number 4 was for room number 4, yes, sir?
Yeah, I shared the link in the chat box, but I think people
we couldn't get from there.
Openable. So go, Vikashji, could you share with room 4 as well?
Yes, yeah. I think this is room number 4.
All of us leave the room already.
All of us are from room number 4.
Yeah,
so please provide us the question and give few minutes.
Room number 1, 2, 3, and now I'm in room number 4.
Okay.
Okay. So
actually we have left the room and come in the main meeting.
Oh, okay.
Because none of us had questions. That was the problem. So could you please provide us the question and give us few minutes for discussion?
Okay, so let's come back to the main room and then I will share the document with you. So yeah, in about 40 seconds you are coming to the main room.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, sorry about that. I need to in order to make things happening from here, I really need your emails. I should have requested Vikashji for your emails. That didn't happen. Anyway, I should have. Let's say I'm going to, in 12 seconds, I'm going to.
Meanwhile, Ramasi sir, may I ask you one question, sir?
Yeah.
So what is triple blind peer review process? Actually, we are publishing journal annually from our campus, from Sirha. I am from Sirha.
Yes.
We are publishing and we are in verge of making our journal online. And there was one question for the that process, triple blind peer review process. So we couldn't understand that. So could you answer it?
I'll answer your questions in a minute. Just making sure that everybody has access to this page first. So someone said that this page should be made available for 2 minutes. So here can you see, everyone, can you see this page now? So these are the 3 questions.
Yes, sir.
That's journal 1, that's journal 2, that's journal 3. So what I will do is, first of all, make a quick a snap, if you like, of the questions.
We've done that, sir. We're halfway through the work, actually.
Yeah, some people
we need a little, like 2-3
yes,
more minutes.
others haven't. Yeah, okay. So which one do you want now? 3 and 4?
We've done this, actually, because sir came and he gave us this chance to do.
Yeah, there was a problem with some rooms. That's why.
Okay.
Okay. Just say, just bear with us for 2 minutes. And because you do, I think we are out of time, or what's the timeline? How much time left?
We are already out of time, but this is because of subsequent delay of the inaugural program. So
okay,
it's 8:43 here. Let's try to conclude within 7
minutes.
No, 7 means we have 17 more minutes.
Oh, 17 more minutes. Okay. All right.
There are some slides left from my side as well.
Okay. Okay. So quickly, let's do. I have one more quick. Actually, 2 more activities, but we won't be able to do it. But we'll do one more. So quickly, can group 1 report on this one? What was your decision? Room 1.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
All right. We are in group 1. In group 1, there was NELTA Journal of NELTA, published from Nepal English Language Association. It is similar with other journals in the sense that all the journals have their own vision, and all of them aim to enhance English language teaching either in EFL context or ESL context. And all these journals are peer-reviewed journals. They are similarities, and it's different from others in the sense that other journals are talking only about EFL or ESL context, whereas Nepal Journal of NELTA has talked about the English language teaching and enhancing collaborations not only at international level, local level, regional level, as well as international level. Therefore, it is different from others in this sense. It means that it tries to promote local knowledge as well. And the third question is, among these four, we are very near to the aim of Journal of NELTA itself, because we aims to enhance and distribute local ELT knowledge, skills and practices into global, and global knowledge into local context. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. That's really good. Let's go to room 2. Room 2, please. Anybody from room 2? Room 3. What's happening? Anybody from?
Actually, sir, we couldn't read exactly third one. We were just in the first. We lately received that, but I'll try.
Okay.
Many things we don't want to repeat, because the similarity thing is already mentioned there. They all are concerned to English, around English, and our journal is actually the third part was we're almost there. Then we we came back to this main room, so we couldn't discuss. And the third one is a little different, like a multidisciplinary approach or a kind of theory and content. I exactly, but it was like a theory and like content and theory practice integration or something like that, and also integration of other subject. Focus was a little different there. That's I could read just 2-3 line.
I got it. I got it. Yeah.
Yes.
I understand. Thank you. Anything from group 4? Anything would you like to add?
Actually, from group 4, sir, we did not get the reading stop because we can't scroll down the screen.
Yeah.
Only the questions are visible, not the only the few lines. So we returned back, and we already shared our problem. We apologize.
Okay. So this is what we will do. I will ask Vikas ji to share these aims with you, and maybe we can answer these questions, or maybe you can communicate with us in some way.
So sir, we have sent our email, so we can do as our home assignment.
Okay. Quickly, let's.
On behalf of breakout room number 2, sir, can I say something?
Yes, please.
So in breakout room number 2, lately we could get the text. I just tried my best to compare 1 and 2, first and second one, 1 and 2. So first one talks about the Nelta journal, and second one as TESOL EJ. So there are lots of differences.
Yeah,
they are for different purposes. These two journals are for different purposes. The first one, Nelta journal, it enhances the quality of English language teaching and learning through professionalism. And the second one is freely distributed electronic academic journal.
Yeah.
Second thing, Nelta journal is it demands the articles for research reports, practical teaching ideas, book reviews, and other useful materials which have local, regional, and global relevances for professionalism. But second one, it demands the articles for consideration, book review, software or website review, and it is served as a reviewer for manuscript that are submitted to the editors. And the final one, what I got, the Nelta journal, it talks about some local or regional or global, but if we talk of the TESOL EJ, it wants to make it known throughout the whole of the world. So its audience is quite longer, wider than the Nelta journal. So in this regard, the purpose of these two journals is quite different.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. So what I found from these two in short span of time, I tried my best.
Can I add one thing, sir? Can I add something? In second, so can I add something, sir?
Yes.
So what I noticed that I may be wrong, but in second that chunk of that second that journal, the call for like support hand also was also other than academic thing, like a software or software engineers or something, software contributor or something, developer, like that. So I think the objectives here are little different, because to make it freely available, accessible for everyone, I think the designing process or the strategy is a little different there. I don't know, maybe.
No, totally. So, what do you think it tells us? 4 different journals, they may have something similar, something common as well, but largely they are
yes, sir. Yes,
in terms of the readership that they serve, the expansion, where they serve, which context, and with what purpose. So what does it tell us? I will summarize that in a minute, but let's do this together here. Everyone, because we have problems sharing the document. So we have, this is about the scope. Remember, aims and the scope go together. So aims, for example, when you talk about aims, so who do you serve? What is the, in your aim, do you serve any particular group of readers, or you serve all different groups of readers? So this go together, aims, these two things go together. So here I have 5 questions on a scope, and then I will summarize what it tells us together. Okay, so determining the scope of your journal. Which factors will you consider, which factor will you consider when determining the scope of your journal? A, B, C, D. Just write down, say, somewhere, and we will talk in a minute. What do you think?
So we wonder if you could possibly share the screen.
Yeah, I'm sharing it.
Yeah, it's been shared. We can see.
Okay.
Can you not see it? Can you?
No, we can see, sir. It's perfect.
Yeah, okay. So let's
it's
focus
slightly
on
visible up
question
to
1.
2. It's slightly
Option
visible
2.
up to option 2, yeah. And I think you can scroll a little bit down, sir. Little bit.
Yeah, so that's question 1. Which factors? And you have purpose, you have readers, you have contents, and you have areas of language. Okay. Does your journal publish? So which areas would you consider? Yeah, just write down your one answer and we will make a general conclusion. Number 2, based on your aims, the following readership is unsuitable for your journal. Or least important, let's say least important. Probably not a clear word. Which one will you consider last, if you like?
Status.
NELTA members, primary level teachers, secondary level teachers, tertiary level teachers, ELT practitioners.
Gender analysis of the storybooks, the Disney Princess series, the authority of stories.
Let's go to 3. Based on your journal's aims, which of the following content topic is unsuitable for your journal? Based on your aims, I'm hoping that you have some kind of aims. Following contents or topics unsuitable. Peace through schooling and education, a quest for knowledge. Genre analysis of the storybooks in the Disney Princess story. The originality of Shakespearean story.
Contributions are welcome. What areas of contributions are welcome? The most teaching and learning.
Okay, remember each one of the question can be debatable. Question 4. On the basis of your aims, for what areas of contributions will you? No, we don't need 4. What areas of contribution will you welcome? So these are the areas, okay? Which areas will you welcome on the basis of your aims? Language teaching and learning, language testing and assessment, language curriculum and material development, technology-enabled language teaching and learning, language teacher professional development, language policy and planning, global English and intercultural language education, genre literary analysis of English literature with pedagogic implications, studies of languages spoken by Nepali community. Okay. 5. On the basis of your aims, what contributions will you welcome for your, what type, let's say type. What types of types contributions will you will you welcome for your journal? Feature articles, research reports, action research reports, teaching learning issues, documentary analysis, practical ideas, practical activities, literary analysis with pedagogical implications, ELT related news and information, ELT materials from blogs and podcasts. Okay, what is the answer? Answer is that there is no answer.
Yes,
There is no answer because there is no one answer, because
yes, sir.
Yeah, what is suitable for one group of people or maybe one journal is not suitable for another journal. So it really depends what your aims are. So if I ask you to select one, probably it's hard because sometimes all of these given choices are applicable or acceptable, if you like. So in total, this is what I'm telling you. I do have another activity, but probably not this time, maybe another time. But this is what we discussed today. What we said is journal publication is a long-term commitment. Therefore, it should have a long-term vision. And based on your vision, you should be able to put a publication and editorial system in place. Remember, systems should be independent and functional. And that means right people in the right place. If, for example, you ask someone to handle book reviews section, and someone who has never done a book review, then that's not right person in the right place, or in my opinion. The aims should be stated clearly, should be up to date. It should be, based on your long-term vision. It should tell, remember, it's easy to copy aims from other journals. I discourage you to do that. If you copy the aims from other sources, like there are thousands of journals, chances are that you don't really commit to everything that is stated there. So it's just copying just for the sake of showing it. I discourage you to do that. Then the question is, how do you develop an aim for your own journal? Remember, it's an interaction process. It's a deliberation process. It's a thinking process. The team should sit together and then decide what is that you really want to achieve. Anything that you say there is more meaningful, more applicable, more useful than copying aims from any other sources. So that's why I wanted you to do the analysis. Remember, there are 4 different aims coming from 4 different sources. Target, there may be some commonalities, but they have different readerships to target. They have different purposes to achieve. They have different coverage, if you like, different areas to coverage. So all of this you should decide yourself. who do you want to cater to? I mean, whose needs? Primary teachers, secondary teachers, university teachers, or teachers of your locality, or teachers beyond your locality, and so on. So you should develop your aims on basis of the considerations of all of these. Now, coming back to a scope is guided by your aim. So as I said here, who is your clientele readership, if you like, readership base? Teachers of what level? It comes from your aim. Say it's really good to have your aim clearly stated first, and then start thinking of setting a process, setting a plan, and then implementing it. So that's the summary. Next one was to talk about the guidelines, but probably the guidelines can be covered in other sessions as well. So here I end my part and I take you back to Bikaji.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Excuse me, Ramasi, sir. What should you do, sir? We were in room number 4 and we couldn't get the question and we couldn't discuss. What shall we have any assignment about that, sir? Or what to do?
Yeah, the assignment was to read the 4 different aims that have been given there, and then compare and see in what way they were similar and different, and what elements of the aims are close to your own aims. That was the task.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
So yeah, if you can do that when the material is available to you,
thank you.
that will be wonderful. Now, someone asked me about a triple blind, double blind, and triple blind, blind, double blind, triple blind. Remember, I said that keep it a secret. Remember the joke I told you? Sorry, yo, mero article no pathaunu bhala. So, that it tells you that as the chief editor of the journal, I know which materials goes to which peer reviewers, right? That's the expectation. Now, in triple review, what happens is even I don't know. Nobody in the system knows. Until after we have done all the selection process, which means that a code is assigned to the submissions, and then everything is done with the codes, not with the person's name. So triple blind is even the administrators, like chief editors or editors, do not know whose material is being sent to who for peer review. I mean, general understanding. But in clinical context, it could be it could have a different meaning. So yeah, that tells us that remember, it's a tricky process, editorial process. It has to be strong. It has to be independent. And remember, you have to be fair, no matter, who you are serving. Sometimes you may have a submission from a very close friend of yours, but
okay,
then.
thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, so yeah, Bikaji, take over and see, yeah, final.
Yes, thank you, Ram sir. We have one activity, but
sir, we are being too late, sir. Otherwise,
yeah,
we will not get a chance to join. हामीलाई घरबाट दिँदैनन् नि, sir.
I was coming back to that. So
because 6:30 we scheduled and
so let me complete. We have one activity remaining, and this is for annual calendar development, and due to the time constraint we could not complete it, but I'll be sending that task through email. So please try to develop one annual calendar. As an editor, you need to develop your own plan, and that activity might support you in future. So with this, I'd like to thank Ganga ma'am and Rama Ashish sir. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, there is a guideline how to prepare a calendar, so you please show them that one,
Yeah.
one slide.
Yeah, I'll be
Please
sending all
email, ma'am.
those.
Email, ma'am. We will read.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
read
be
and
sending all those materials.
Because sir,
So-
how about doing it collaboratively, like within the Perviance group or something like that?
So this time I'll be sending it individual. Later on, you can exchange your work because you have different ideas. So let me send this individually, and I'm expecting your answer by Wednesday morning, so that leads to you the another session. With this, I'd like to thank Ganga ma'am, Ramashi sir, and all the other Nabila ma'am is here, Bishu sir is here, and we have other facilitators like Navaraj sir and Bhim sir, who will be facilitating another session. I'd like to thank all those, and special thanks to the participants who are here, even if we are out of time. So thank you so much. See you on Wednesday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye all.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Goodbye, all of you.